Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 2 of Main Event POGO. I'm joined here today by the SOGMonkey and the DizzyWolf. Guys, how's everything going today?
Pretty good.
Right.
So, I know we have a wide variety of topics you wanted to discuss today.
Yep.
And what's the first thing on the agenda?
Well, first, I guess we can talk about some September events that we have going on.
September events.
Yeah.
They're already releasing
releasing
information.
Oh.
How many events do we know about so far?
We know about 4. One of them being a community day. We actually know what that community day is, and that's for Bebe Community Day.
Oh boy, I've already been hearing some opinions on social media about that. Dizzy, what have you heard about it so far?
Not really too much, just what you guys been hearing.
Yeah, so the prevalent opinion on social media right now seems to be that people are not exactly thrilled that the Flabebes are all still locked to their home regions. Do you guys think that was a good play by Scopely, or do you think that was a miscalculation on their part?
So I think that we just had all of the full babies with GoFest. Because we had the blue one, the red one.
Oh, and they were all everywhere.
Yeah. So I don't know why they weren't just in the community day too. Because we just had them.
Dizzy, your opinions?
Yeah, I can agree with him on that. But why?
It's a little confusing, right, everyone? Because you'd think that if they were willing to unlock all of them for all regions for GoFest, first off, maybe a little soon for a community day form, but even on top of that, why not just have them all be unlocked? I mean, that's what players will want, especially at the increased shiny odds, right? And that's, I guess, the one major difference between what we're doing here in community and GoFest is community day has increased shiny odds. So that's great, but you're only going to be able to get the one in your home region. So
if you're in America, which is what we are, I believe it's just the yellow one, the white one, and then the orange one.
how many are there total? I don't actually know off the top of my head.
There's the white one, orange, red, blue. What did I say? Yellow.
There's 5 total?
Yellow, red,
I thought there
blue,
was 6
white.
for some reason.
There's red and blue, which is the regional one.
Yep.
And then we get the 3, so yeah, 5.
Okay. And how many of those will be here? 3 or 4? 3. Yeah, interesting choice by Scopely. I'm not sure what else to say about that. Now, guys, what other exciting events do we have coming up for September?
So we have a Shadow Raid weekend, similar to Kyogre, which, as of recording this, isn't up, but as you've seen this, it will have already happened. We have another Shadow Raid weekend, which isn't the normal 2 to 5 which we normally get.
Now, I heard some rumors earlier, and Dizzy, maybe you can comment on this. I heard that it might be Groudon. Do you think that makes sense with Kyogre being this month?
Yeah, it kind of makes sense that they're going to do that.
And listen, I'm super excited to be able to get a bunch of Shadow Groudons, just like Shadow Kyogres, because they're both hitters. They're both great. My personal concern is, since we've moved to the 11 to 5 or 2 to 5 format with the half-hour respawns, people being able to stay in the same location, I think that the driving around all over town has gotten a little less popular. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, I don't think people particularly want to play this game for driving around when it's more of a walking-based game.
I mean, I agree. And to me, it just seems, when you spread it out over an entire weekend, I mean, you're looking at spawns from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Versus, like, if you have a 2 to 5, even if they had 2 to 5 each day, those are clear-cut hours that Niantic has chosen, and people know they need to show up during those times, and hopefully the local ambassador or community leader has made it clear where they're supposed to show up, and they can just stay there.
Yeah.
And they can hang out and socialize and chill with their friends. And driving doesn't quite have the same effect.
It's very hard to coordinate a driving event, and Yeah, like we said, 2 to 5 is probably the best play. Having those rotates, because we don't have here a big community. Well, we do, but we don't have like our gyms are very more spread apart.
Yeah, we're definitely not New York City or Paris or Tokyo or Taipei or something like that. They are spread out, and we don't have the largest community ever.
Right.
And
So that makes it hard for those groups.
It does, and I would offer that even in a place like, we live in central Minnesota, but even, kind of an hour south of us in the Twin Cities, even if they don't have areas where the gyms are super, super condensed, like they might be in New York City, for instance, or Los Angeles, they at the very least have a larger player base to draw from. So there are going to be more people just by metric of numbers, even if only 10% of that community is very serious. The number of people that 10% comprises is much larger than what we have. Right. So I think it is easier to get people out to do those things when you have more people to draw from. For smaller communities that are more spread out, I mean, a lot of our players already come from half an hour to an hour away just to come to the meeting point, and then we want them to drive around for 3 hours. Like, that's a big ask.
It's gas money, that's raid money.
Yeah. I mean...
And that's money for probably a ticket that you're going to get.
You're not lying. I mean, Dizzy, would you want to drive almost an hour down to an event and then drive around for 3 hours and then drive almost an hour back home?
No, that's a whole lot of extra cost for just an event, one event like that.
Yeah, I hope that... I understand that this is never... Scopely's never going to watch this, most likely, and they're never going to listen even if they do. But I do hope that they start looking at maybe the numbers of raids that are being done and figure out that this maybe isn't the best system.
And
now,
this isn't us trying to be complaining about this or trying to be negative at all. It's just a real problem that could be easily fixed.
Well, and I think the difference is that, yes, we have a complaint with it, but we also are offering what at least we believe to be a better solution.
Right.
Versus just blindly complaining and like, oh, fix it. Well, you can't tell someone to fix it and then not tell them at least an idea of what they could potentially do. So hopefully this weekend, hopefully the September Shadow Raid weekend work out well, but it's not my favorite, and I think a lot of people feel the same way. Now, what else do we have for September?
We have another raid day. I have no idea what that entails.
We have 2 raid days, don't we?
I believe so, yeah.
The 7th and the 30th, maybe?
Yep.
2 raid days in 1 month.
And we don't know what they are.
And neither of them are mega raid days. Nope. Well, what do you think we could be looking at?
I have no idea what they're gonna plan because they haven't said anything. So I'm hoping it's gonna be like something new. Maybe they'll throw in that they haven't done.
They could throw Maridon in.
So do you guys think those are the next 2 legendaries, or do you think we're gonna see the little mini, what are they called? Forgive me if this is going to sound crazy because I don't know what they're called, but the little snail and the Asian looking, what is it? What is 4?
Oh, the fish, the snail, the little tiger thing. And
yeah.
I think it's going to be Maridon and Maridon first, because if you look at Zacian and Zamazenta, they came out before any other legendary in that region.
Okay.
And those are like the box legendaries.
Are there any other legendaries from prior regions we could see before that, though, potentially?
I mean, the only one that I think we haven't really seen is Calyrex.
And is that from
Sword and Shield?
Okay. And that's the only legendary from Sword and Shield we don't have yet?
So, yeah.
Now, he's one that he's similar to the Kyrums and whatnot, where he has fusions. Is that correct?
He has the reins where he can, in a sense, fuse with the Ghost Horse or the Ice Horse.
So that would be another powerhouse coming out.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, all the fusions like that so far have had really high CPs. And, I mean, also they've been just very strong.
But if you look at those they usually save for like the big events like Go To or Go Fest, Go Wild, whatever.
That would make sense.
So I don't think they would release those in a raid day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I don't think we're gonna get a new legendary in September.
don't think so.
No. I think one of the raid days is going to be something new that's not a legendary, or it's just going to be something disappointing. And by disappointing, I mean, that's a great noise up above us right now. By disappointing, of course, I mean something like, Heracross,
Right.
or Pinsir, or something along those lines. And when
yeah, you're right. We did just get Heracross. We did just get Kangaskhan. So it could just be another regional.
yeah, it could just be like, is Pinsir regional?
I wouldn't mind that too much, depending on what it is.
I would mind it if it's Tauros, because that's our region's Pokemon. If it was a different region's Pokemon, I may be okay with it. But if it's a new one, I would guess, what is that? We are missing one from Hisui.
That is the evolution of Basculin. So you'll be ending up evolving it.
I don't know, man. Listen, you're probably right, but I would love to see him just put that in a raid day and just like let us just take care of it.
So I would say maybe it would be an raid day if we didn't get the version exclusive or the exclusive Basculin already in the game that exclusively evolves.
No, you probably have a point. I don't know that we're gonna get a new legendary, and I definitely don't think both the raid days will be legendaries. Now, Dizzy, I do think that the other raid day, and I don't know which one will be which, but one of them is going to be a legendary. What legendary do you think it might be?
I am not sure what legendary it would be. I'm just hoping if it is going to be a legendary, it's going to be something that's going to be at least like powerful, something we can actually use more, instead of just being something more of a collector Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't want to see any more Reggies. No,
Yeah.
no Reggie raid day, please.
I don't want to go on another 90 raid pass drought with Reggies.
And I'd love if it's also not a Zacian and Zamazenta. And not that they're not
we
hitters,
just had them.
not that they're not great, but we had them at GoFest. We're getting them again at Max Finale with the potential to get energy too. So there's really no
And
reason.
they were just exclusive to Worlds too.
Yeah, there'd be no reason for them to bring those back so soon, I don't feel like. Hopefully, at least. I mean, what would you think? If we're going to get a returning legendary for one of the raid days, what do you think it would be?
I mean, there would be what I would think, and then there would be what I would hope.
Okay, let's hear both.
I would think it would probably be something that we haven't seen for quite some time, hopefully.
That would be awesome.
So maybe something like a Mewtwo might make sense.
I know a lot of people have been talking about that. In our local community, right, guys, we have a lot of lower level, newer, or returning players, people, let's call it in the 35 to 43 range. And a lot of them don't have Mewtwo's. And I'm not talking about they don't have Shadow Mewtwo. I'm not talking about they don't have Shiny Mewtwo. They don't have any Mewtwo's. In fact, just last month, I had somebody use a Lucky Trinket on me, and they wanted a Mewtwo. Not a Shadow Mewtwo, not a Shiny Mewtwo, just a plain old regular Mewtwo. So I could see that.
Yeah, I would love to see them actually bring some Pokemon back that they haven't been putting out for a long time, because there's some Pokemon in the decks that I don't have that they have put out in the past that they just refuse to release again.
It's tough. It's tough. They don't always do a great job. I feel like I see, and some of this is because some of these are in shadow raids occasionally too, but I feel like I see Ho-Oh and Lugia three times for every time we see, I don't know, even Tornadus and Landorus and stuff like that. We've seen them, but only for a day, and all three of them are up, and it's not great. But the hard thing is with the raid days, unless they were going to do all three of them, Tornadus and Thundurus and Landorus, all in kind of combined into one raid day, they're not going to do it for just one of them, right? They don't do stuff like that. I hope not Latios and Latias either, since we just had them in Dynamax.
Yeah.
And once a Pokemon's out in Dynamax, and this is maybe something that, no, listen, we don't talk about, unofficial data leaks or anything on here, but we do understand that an item like Max Soup is in the mainline games. If they were to ever potentially introduce that, that would solve some of these issues. But I struggle, at least personally, you guys tell me if you feel differently, to want to do a regular Latios or Latias raid, or the dogs or the birds at this point, because why would I not just do the Dynamax versions?
Once it comes out in Dynamax, it's like there's no point to get the regular version if it comes out. Like,
because Dynamax works in raids and in Dynamax.
Yeah.
So.
If I catch a Dynamax Moltres, I can use it everywhere. If I catch a regular Moltres, I can't use it in Dynamax or Gigantamax, and that's not great. I'm gonna say, I think if it's a legend, I think if we have one of them to be the legendary, I think Mewtwo is a pretty solid bet. Realistically, now as to what I would like to see, and I don't think this is ever happening, but I can hope. Zygarde's a legendary. I would love to see Zygarde come to raids eventually.
I mean, it's not necessarily entirely out of the possibility, because Legends EA comes out in September.
Yeah, and that would be
that would actually be good timing.
That'd be a really cool tie-in. Also, it would be, I mean, the only thing I'll say is I know some players would be disappointed because I know Zygarde was a popular bottle cap target, but for anyone who didn't do that, or just for people who want a second one for whatever reason or whatever, I can just see it now. People are going to be making it rain.
Get the shiny.
Well, I know they won't release the shiny the first time, but I don't know. I think that'd be cool. I'd also be totally happy if they surprised us with a mythical that we didn't think was going to be in raids.
Oh, that one that it's just missing the one mythical from it.
I would
that
love.
Would be so awesome. Man.
I know. I mean, maybe, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I doubt. It's gonna be another like 3 years.
They need to give us a Keldeo research at least.
I don't disagree. I'm before we move on to the next topic, I did have a question for you, and because I don't quite understand, and maybe you understand better than me, because we are talking about mythicals and raids, and we do know that some mythicals have made appearances in raid. We have the 4 forms of Deoxys, we have Darkrai, we have Hoopa has come into raids. Is there someone I'm forgetting here?
Genesect?
Genesect, that is correct. I forgot about him. So we have had some mythicals in raids. What do you think is the logic or the difference between putting something like a Genesect or a Darkrai into raids versus, why have we never seen Mew, Jirachi, Celebi, Keldeo?
I guess their CP might be too low.
Really?
I'm trying to think. So Mew Max is out about what, 3,600-ish at level 50?
Right.
And I think Jirachi and Celebi are the low 3,000s. But that's not that crazy when you think about it, because the Deoxys actually are lower than that, I believe. I think they max out, what, maybe right around 3? And we even have legendaries who are lower. I don't know that Cresselia gets over 3.
I mean, my only other thought would be just relatively available. Darkrai you can get relatively available in mainline games.
So you think it has to do with their appearance rate kind of in mainline games? If it's one you're only supposed to get one of or not? That's interesting.
Because Deoxys you can catch in the mainline games. You can catch it in Echo Wave.
Well, that's fair.
And then Darkrai you can catch it. The only one that doesn't really make sense to me is Hoopa, because I don't think you can catch Hoopa in the mainline games.
How do you get him? Is he received from like a trainer or
Code.
something? A code? Okay. I don't know. How about Volcanion? Let's get Volcanion in some raids. Let's get it done. Listen, I think anytime they put a mythical in raids, I'm not saying we should have, 2 weeks of Mew in raids. But I think a 2 to 5 raid day for Mew or for Jirachi, I think that would be a really stellar, exciting thing for the community. People wouldn't be able to get hundreds and hundreds of them, but just have the opportunity to get something a little better, and maybe for ones that are shiny, have the option, the possibility. And I wonder if that's not part of it, because we do know that they have released paid shiny researches for some of these mythicals, and they are likely to bring those researches back in the future, as we've just seen with Jirachi recently. So I do wonder if that has something to do with it as well, if there's a monetary component. So, what do you think?
Yeah, that'd be nice if they did that.
I would love Keldeo. Listen, I just want Keldeo. I don't have Keldeo.
Keldeo, I don't see why it's not in raids, to be honest. Because you can catch it in Sword and Shield.
Oh, I want it right now. You got if they did
They've put
Keldeo,
a lot of stuff out from Sword and Shield, haven't they?
bro. If they did Keldeo raid day, I mean, everyone would be making it rain. I mean, it'd be like the sprinkler of Visa, MasterCard, Discover, PayPal, Wise, Venmo, Cash App, just making it rain all over the place. Okay, like just do it. Put Keldeo 2 to 5 raid day. Let's go. Now, next topic. We got to move on because I feel like we've been on this a little longer.
For a while. The next topic going into raids is Dynamax stuff. Kind of talking about what we kind of theorize about just kind of Dynamax topics. And
Well,
Dynamax as in Gigantamax.
we know, guys, that they're bringing back every single Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon, either during Max Finale or in the lead-up week to Max Finale. So, we talked about this earlier, and I think what makes the most sense is one of the 3 Dynamax Pokemon we already have coming to Gigantamax. You said Hatena,
and then the last one
Rookidee.
was Rookidee.
I'm going to vote for Corviknight because I like Corviknight from like a purely gameplay perspective. From a inside community joke perspective, I'm going to say I want to see Garbodor. What are your opinions, Dizzy?
Honestly, I'm kind of cool with any of them, but like at the same time, I'm mainly just waiting for Eevee to come out.
See,
That's the only thing I want to see.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
out of those 3, I feel like it's not going to be Hatena. Hatena is pretty brand new. It doesn't have a shiny. The other 2 do.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And usually, aside from Cinderace, Rillaboom, and Talion, usually the Gigantamax release with the shiny.
Listen, if they use the next Gigantamax day to bring out shiny Hatena, I would be totally good with that. What I am not good with, considering that Hatena is even less popular than the starters you just named, would be to have a Gigantamax day for it without a shiny, because I think that will significantly hurt attendance numbers. Right. I think if they put Hatena and Gigantamax with no shiny, it is going to be one of the worst Gigantamax attendance that the Pokemon Go community overall has ever seen.
Yep.
Yeah, because people know it's going to come back out again anyway.
Well, people are starting to catch on to that. You know, I know Scopely's got to make money, and I'm not dogging them for being a business. You know, this is a capitalist society we live in. But we do know their kind of pattern of behavior. We do know that they're gonna milk everything they can out of the non-shinies and then use the shiny release to then make more profit. I mean, that's what businesses do. Now he mentioned Eevee. I'll ask you, is there any Gigantamax that is not currently out in Dynamax that you think is a possibility?
I mean, Eevee, Pikachu, those are 2 big ones.
How about Meowth?
I'd see more Pikachu and Eevee more than I would see Meowth.
Does Meowth have a Gigantamax? I thought he did. And it's just him, right? It can't evolve into Persian.
And they release Eevee, oh man, is my bank account gonna get empty real quick?
I
can tell you right now, I'm going after every single one until I get a hundo.
And a shiny.
Oh yeah,
Maybe even a couple shinies.
many as I can get.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a pretty quick topic. I don't think we have anything else to really say on that, do we? Now, here's kind of this is the one I called the meat and potatoes before we started. The compensation
of Origins.
So, guys, before we get started talking about the compensation model, what were your guys' impressions of the event and some of the problems that you guys noticed?
So, I'm the community ambassador of our community.
Yes, you are.
So, from a running event perspective of it, I was noticing a lot of people being upset about the shiny rates and about the just move rate in general because people were not getting the move. I just think the morale of that event was rough, to say the least.
Dizzy, what did you feel like? Because I know you were there the whole time.
It was way too long of an event, it felt like, for how bad the odds of everything was. And I didn't even get one hundo during that. And for how long that event was, I should have at least gotten one hundo during that, I feel like.
Yeah, they did drag it out from 11 instead of the 2 to 5. It's 11 to 5.
And that, I think, was a big mistake, especially in conjunction with the shiny rate not being correct. I felt like that created a long, drawn-out, rough day for a lot of people. I was pretty drained by the end of that day. I was moody.
We all were.
I was upset. And not only, like they said, was the 1 in 10 shiny rate that should have been in effect not in effect, but on days like that, when you have a special move on a Pokemon and that move cannot even be Elite TM'd onto that Pokemon, and it couldn't even be Elite TM'd on that day, which I think was another huge miss on their part. I understand if you don't want people Elite TMing it any day, every day, but I feel like during that event, you should have been able to Elite TM it over. So I feel like the event in general was a miss. The 11 to 5 was grueling. The not correct shiny rate was grueling. And the move rate, you only have, I believe, a 1 in 4 chance to get the move.
Yeah.
So even if you get a good IV, even if it happens to be shiny, you then still only have a 1 in 4 chance to actually get the move you want on it. And the odds to get even something like a 96 and above and shiny and with the move, I mean, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Then you've got people that are getting the Shundo without them.
And that's probably the most devastating thing that can happen on a day like that, even if the shiny rates were correct, is if you get a Palkia without Spatial Ren and it's a Shundo, or a Dialga without Roar Timus, that's devastating almost.
Yep.
Because Shundo legendaries are so rare, and on days like that, part of the allure is you have a little bit better chance. Now, are most people going to get it? Of course not. But I feel like somebody should have. And we did see some hundos and maybe even a Shundo, but I don't think we saw anyone get I don't know. The moves were tough. The moves were really tough.
Moves were tough. Shiny rate was tough.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the compensation. Now, Dizzy, I know we talked about this before the show. What are your thoughts on the compensation? You want to kind of explain that to the viewers?
Well, what they're going to do is you're going to get either one or the other shiny, and then depending on how many you did, you get a chance of getting more out of it. So what my thought on that is that you should at least get each one shiny for sure, guaranteed. And then depending on how many you did, you get more extra odds of getting more. But honestly, I wish they would just give us a Shundo of each. Especially for the people who dumped so much into it and got really nothing out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I counted how many raids we did. Just me in general.
Sure.
How many?
We did just under 50. So
Yeah, it's in line with kind of what Dot had said too. Guys, I'm kind of in agreement. I think if you participate in the event, you should get at minimum one shiny of each. And then, yes, I do agree with scaling compensation for players who did significantly more raids. I'm sure there are some players in larger areas like Taipei or Tokyo who I'm sure did over 100. And I do think I know Niantic and Scopely aren't always overly generous, and I think we've kind of noticed that over the years with the monetization model and how they choose to apply compensation. But an event like this, in my opinion, was devastating to local communities, and I do believe that I would much rather see them be overly generous with the compensation rather than try to be sticklers with it and leave a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Because that's where we're at right now, is I think everyone has a bad taste in their mouth. Yeah. I know I do.
Yeah, especially for how long that thing was. I don't like super overly long events like that.
11 to 5 is too much for a raid day, I think. Now,
if it was something like a Go Fest or
that's
a big event,
and there's
different
way
because
more
there's
stuff.
other things to do, like you can catch Pokemon in the wild, you can go do Dynamax, you can go do raids.
Yes. 8 hours, for over 8 hours one day, 8 hours another day for GoFest, totally fine. Increase shiny odds, lots of new and exciting and different and regional wild Pokemon spawning, cool things coming from eggs for walking, cool things in Dynamax or Gigantamax, cool things in raids.
There's something for every little feature of the game.
Yeah, I mean, even the field research is way better during GoFest. I mean, like, there's just everyone can find a way to enjoy and play the way they want for 8 hours on each day. This 6 hours of just raiding, only raiding, and problems, not the play, Scopely, not the play. Now, I think we had one last topic you wanted to touch on, and that was last minute Max Finale prep.
Because Max Finale is coming.
Yeah.
Rapidly.
It is. Dizzy, what are your thoughts on is there anything you'd suggest to the viewers last minute prep for Max Finale?
Make sure that you invest in particle packs. Just don't even buy them just yet right away, but like have the coins to get them because you're gonna probably have to use some.
I don't think there's any probably about it. At least not if you actually want a chance. Yeah. Listen, if you just want to get your Eternatus and you want it to sit at 2,500 CP forever, then great. But if you want to max it out, you are going to have to spend, and you are going to have to spend this weekend. And I think that's something a lot of people are missing, is because we're going to get an abundance of candies, and because the candy count to level up is so high, you are not going to be able to rare candy the Pokemon later. They're kind of forcing you to spend this weekend, and we don't know when it's going to come back. I don't want to say it'll never come back because I think that's wrong, but it could be a year before we see it again.
And there's actually something we didn't touch on last episode that we probably should, and that's that yes, you do get the Gigantamax every hour, and it's a different one every hour. So you only get 1 hour with each, but you're also getting the Eternamax stuff throughout the entire event. So not every power spot is going to be those Gigantamax Pokemon. So there's no way to.
That's going to be very interesting. I don't know what to think about Max Finale. We're gonna have to see. I'm excited for Eternatus. I'm not sure all this stuff's gonna work. I guess we'll have to sort it out. Now,
just have to see.
Pretty much. I mean, the last thing I'll say is, I agree with Dizzy. Make sure you have some coins set aside. As always, I'm not telling people to overspend, but if you're gonna spend quite a bit, you're much better off buying the $100 pack than buying the $10 or $20 pack over and over again. Just a better ratio of coins per dollar. If you plan on doing a fair amount of Zacian or Zamazenta raids, keep your eyes open for that 99 raid pass box. It should show up in your store randomly, every week or two at some point. So just if you need raid passes, keep your eyes open for that. Be ready to spend on particle packs. If you want to max Eternatus, this might be your only chance for quite a while. And the last thing I'll say before I pass it to SOG here to wrap it up is stick to your budget. Don't overspend, and make sure that throughout the weekend you stay cool and you stay hydrated and you have snacks, and watch out for things like heat stroke, sunburn. Just make sure you're looking out for yourself and you're looking out for your buddies, and try to have a great time and help everyone in your community have a great time too.
Pretty much. I guess another thing to look forward to, look for, if you're not from our community and you're somehow watching this, look for a community ambassador. You're going to get rewards. You're going to probably get free particles. You're probably going to get some sort of raid pass or something. I don't know what the GoFest as a community ambassador is. I don't know what the rewards are, but it's going to be something that's going to get you more extra free stuff. So look out for that.
Absolutely. Well, guys, do we have anything else before we wrap it up?
All we got.
Dizzy, anything from you?
Ain't got nothing.
Well, guys, that was another exciting episode, hopefully, of Main Event Pogo, and we'll see you next time for episode 3, hopefully coming up in the near future. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.